All right. The correct answers for directed reading A, environmental solutions. Number one, four human needs that will have an impact on the earth. Our need for food, healthcare, transportation, and waste removal. We have a big impact on the planet Earth because of those four needs. Conservation is the preservation and wise use of natural resources. So that's C. Three is air pollution. Riding a bike can prevent air pollution. Four, when people practice conservation, they use far fewer natural resources. Which of the following is not one of the three R's? Rebuild. Just reuse, reduce, recycle. Reduce. In some countries, as much as 1/3 of the waste produced is made up of packaging material. That always boggles my mind how much stuff we wrap things in. If you go to the store, a lot of times the things you buy are packaged in a box and a bag and another box, another bag, and all that just gets thrown away. Something that is biodegradable can be broken down by living organisms. How some farmers are taking better care of the environment by using mulch, compost, manure, and natural pest controls instead of chemical fertilizers and pesticides. So chemical fertilizers, pesticides, they kill the bad bugs, but they kill everything else too, and they can poison the food. 9, some new resources of energy being studied in the hopes that they will replace fossil fuels. New energy producing sources being studied are the sun, wind, tides, water. So instead of burning fuel, we can maybe use solar power or wind power. 10, another thing car companies are doing are looking into building more efficient and affordable electric or hydrogen fueled cars. Reuse. What is one way plastic bags can be reused? They can be reused at the grocery store. 2 ways old tires can be reused. A lot of times playground surfaces are chopped up old rubber tires. Maybe even walls for new homes. That's interesting. How is water reclaimed and reused? All right, so a long answer here. Make sure you have the main points. Plants and filter feeding animals such as clams are used to clean the water. The water isn't pure enough to drink, but it can be used to water parks, lawns, and crops. Sometimes the reclaimed water is returned to underground water supplies. So it's kind of it's using kind of partially cleaned water to do things that we don't need pure water for. So we don't need pure water to water our lawns or to water a park. So we don't have to use all the energy to purify the water. 14 is D, recycling. 15 is C, yard clippings. 16 is A, 95%. By recycling aluminum cans, you save 95% of the energy needed to make a new can. 17 is A. 18, plastics, glass, and wood can be recycled. Old glass can be made into new bottles and jars. 19, how do some communities make recycling? Some communities have recycling centers or curbside collection. I think most communities have curbside recycling collection. Why are some people concerned about burning waste material to produce energy? All right, so there's this idea that, we have all this garbage, let's burn the garbage instead of burning like coal. We'll burn the garbage and that will create energy. But the problem there is if you burn garbage, that's just putting more pollution into the air. And it reduces the amount of things that get recycled and reused. 21, why is biodiversity important to an ecosystem? Biodiversity is important to an ecosystem because every species has a unique role in the ecosystem. So biodiversity is the diversity of life living in an area. And it's important to have a lot of different plants, animals, bugs, big animals, small animals, medium animals, the whole thing, all living together. And that's biodiversity. What might happen if an important predator in an ecosystem were lost? If an important predator in an ecosystem was lost, then the number of prey will increase. The prey might eat plants, keeping other animals from getting food. Eventually, even the prey will run out of food. So each part of an ecosystem is important, whether it's the biggest things or the littlest things. Each part is important to the ecosystem. If you take out one part, then the rest of the ecosystem is affected. 23, the Endangered Species Act. The ESA forbids activities that would harm a species on the endangered species list. An example of an animal that's been helped by that is the California condor. And it's important to protect the habitats and not just the species, because each organism is part of an interconnected web. To protect these organisms, we must protect the entire web, the entire habitat. So we can't just say, oh, we're going to protect the California condor, because we have to protect, the habitat that the California condor lives in and all the animals and plants that are connected to the California condor. We have to protect all of it. 26, the EPA works to help people have a clean environment, keeps people informed about environmental issues, and enforces environmental laws. 27, 5 environmental strategies that people can use to help protect Earth's environment. Reduce pollution, reduce pesticide use, protect habitats, learn about local issues, and develop alternative energy sources. 28, 5 things that young people can do. Volunteer at a local preserve or nature center, give away old toys, use recycled paper or hand-me-downs, recycle. I'm sure you can think of a lot of others to help the Earth. All right, so those were the answers for DRA for environmental solutions.